Hey, what's going on, my YouTube friends, and welcome to my anime episode review of One Piece episode 736, Sending a Shockwave, the worst generation goes into action. I'm just gonna get this out of the way right now. The animation, not good, in my opinion. The majority of all the characters that I saw in the episode, the animation, the eyes were like lopsided, except for like Fujitora and Sakazuki, Akainu, and probably the Gorosei, but that's really it. But I didn't really mind it because the pacing was just on point. The whole episode, it had everything that the chapter that the manga chapter was. It showed everything, and because of that, I didn't really mind what was going on with like the animation. The episode is basically the news of the Pirate Alliance with Law and Luffy have spread throughout the entire world, not just the neighboring countries. After the neighboring countries, one by one, every island was getting the news, and a lot of the people with Law and Luffy, the worst generation, they're all seeing the news, and they're all like you see Bonet, you see what's his name? Urouge. You see Urouge, you see Kid, you see Killer, you see Hawkins, you see Apu, you see Drake, ex-Drake, he's looking badass. They're all like glad that he took out Doflamingo, because he's like the ringleader of Kaido, and they all actually like want to take the Four Emperors down, and except for some people that I'm not gonna mention. People I'm not mentioning. I'm not gonna do it. And you see the Straw Hats gathering around in the town together, trying to get everybody together and stuff. And then Luffy's still with Rebecca and Viola and Law, and they're all just happy that it's finally all over. It was nice for everybody to be like, finally this is done. Even though last episode was kind of like the same thing when it comes to that, like everybody being like, thank goodness it's over. And besides that, Fujitora is still prostrating himself, apologizing on behalf of the Navy and the world government and everything, and he purposely let Doflamingo do this because he wanted to show that this is what the world government says is okay, for a pirate to rule a country and let it go into ruin. And so he kept the transponder snails on so that everybody could see him prostrating and apologizing to King Riku for this incident that the Navy let happen. And I thought that's like a huge thing when it comes to like the One Piece world, because the world government, Navy, they all want to try to look good in front of everybody, even if it's to cover up something. And if Fujitora was gonna report to Navy headquarters, they would have covered it up and everything. So he did this before that happened. So then Akainu, Sakazuki, he goes to the four elders or five elders to talk about like, hey, what the hell is this that you fake the news saying that Doflamingo has resigned from the Shichibukai, and then all of a sudden he's back, and he's like, how does Doflamingo have so much pull on that? And that's what he's angry about. And then he's saying like, you're letting the higher ups, the Celestial Dragons, like order you guys around to do things for them and stuff like that, and they're getting angry and stuff, telling him to like shut his mouth. You have no right. And they said the Navy is just the face of the government, and I kind of was just like so mad about that and everything. I think his face, like the animation for his face, I think was like the best part. Because his anger face, you can see that they put more detail into it because of his anger. All of a sudden, a vice admiral comes rushes in, and he's screaming to Akainu, the five elders, yelling at him, saying, the Pirate Alliance with Luffy and Law just took out Doflamingo and his entire family, and they're all freaking out like, what? Why didn't we hear about this? Because Fujitora didn't want them to know about it, or else they would have covered it up. And I really like that. I really like Fujitora. He's probably like one of my favorite people out of the Navy, besides maybe Kobe and some other people, Garp, Sengoku. There's some badasses. But anyways, so then Akainu or Sakazuki, he calls up Fujitora, yelling at him. He's like, "Why didn't you report to Navy headquarters And he's saying, like, if I did, and Fujitora like, if I did that, you guys would have covered it up and said, like, the Navy finished him off and stuff like that when we didn't. And then Akainu's like, well, cover-ups happen all the time. And Fujitora is just coming at him saying, like, I refuse to be named or to be called a hero with lies. And he's such an honorable dude. I love him. Fujitora going in on Akainu, boy! Woo! It was just amazing. And with what they did with Fujitora and Akainu, who were like yelling at each other in the manga, I think it kind of was more impactful in the anime because not only the voice actors and stuff, but the music in the background, and I don't know, it just sounded so much better than the manga, than reading the manga. And that's saying something, because usually the manga for me is like better than the anime. And I loved it how Akainu is like, I would rather cover it up and keep the Navy with credibility and dignity for the Navy headquarters. And Fujitora is like, if we have to keep up with credibility and dignity like this, then we didn't have any in the first place. Hell yeah. Fujitora just putting in the work. Oh my god. That part was really my favorite part. And another favorite part was when you see X-Drake. He was looking at the newspaper, seeing like Doflamingo being beaten and everything by Law and Luffy, and the island that he's at, the winter island. You see bonsai trees, you see some like castle thing in the background, and you could tell that you can basically tell that since that it looks like a Japanese castle structure, you can put things together that is Wano. That's the Wano country. You got, for anime only viewers, I'm telling you, I bet you that is the Wano country. Also, you see Urouge on a sky island in the middle of nowhere, a deserted island, Sky Island. He's resting. And one of his guys comes over and he's like, hey, somebody is here. And he's like, that's impossible. Why would anybody be here? This is like a deserted Sky Island. Nobody comes here. And you hear those steps in the background, though, not steps, those big ass feet, the stomps. And for anime only viewers, you're gonna get like a good ass treat. It's gonna be real good. It's gonna next week, it's gonna be amazing. But yeah, that's kind of like how the chapter ends or whatever. I give this one, since the pacing was so good and everything, not minding the animation, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. I can't wait for next episode. I can't wait to see the animation. To see some people. It's gonna be crazy. But yeah, that's it. Like the video if you did. Comment down below on what you thought of the episode. If you're excited for next episode, what you think the next episode is gonna be about. I'm pretty excited for you anime only fans. It's gonna be a good one. And subscribe to my channel for reviews, vlogs, and unboxings, things like that. So, gentlemen, stay classy, ladies, stay sassy, but most importantly, everybody, gonna stay nasty. Oh. Peace and love, and I'll see you later.